Hi, my name is Mohammed Al-Hassani. I'm with EKU Power Drives. In this video, we're going to be going over our most common products in the oil and gas application for the Escape conventional diesel frac pump application. To start off with, we have the Escape, the engine standby controller. This contains your lithium-ion batteries and the power module, as well as your power distribution bar. Inside the Escape, we have the power module, which is the lithium-ion battery system, along with the SCU standby controller. Then we have the Vulcan diesel-powered heater. Then we have the EKU electrical box containing the Ruth gateway controller. Then we have the CF15 lube pump, the Ready active lights, and the Ready Start sirens. So here we have the Escape, the engine standby controller. Your main interface with this is going to be your main switch here, which has a lockout tagout provision, the Escape battery status LED, as well as the Ethernet service port for your connection to the EKU web app for diagnostics and live information. On the other side, we have your maintenance charger port for charging with a 120 volt cable off a shore power or light post. Now, inside the enclosure, we have your main power distribution bar containing all the fuses for your starter, your alternator, your optional accessories, and your such as your def heaters and your local box. We have the main power bus bars, the ground disconnect for when you're doing any work that requires welding on a unit, the SCU connectors and Zeus power output connectors, as well as you can see the power module containing the lithium-ion batteries. On the back side of the Escape, you have the quick connects for your high current outputs, such as for your starters, your alternator, as well as the grounds for the starters and the chassis. We have the quick connect for your accessory power and the connections for your main trailer harness, as well as a Peltier cooler and a radiator and fan for the lithium-ion batteries. Here you see that this is a basic model containing a coolant reservoir. Some versions may be a Sub-Zero containing coolant connections that tie into the trailer. This covers the Escape. Next we'll go over the power module. So here we have the power module pulled out of the Escape enclosure. You can see the positive connection and negative connection, as well as the Zeus power output and the SCU. Up here is the actual SCU, which stands for Standby Control Unit, and this has all the software logic that controls the idle management system. So on the front of the power module, you'll find the information sticker containing things such as the battery power information, voltage, kilowatt hours, as well as the power module version number, the tracking number or TN, which is known as similar as a serial number in the EKU system, as well as the installation date and frac pump unit number that this power module was installed on. Here you'll see the positive bar. Always make sure that there is no power present before working on the Escape or power module system. Here you'll see the ground bar. Be sure to always disconnect this before performing any type of welding work. So here we have the Vulcan, which is a diesel-powered coolant heater. This is used to preheat the engine during cold starts, as well as maintain the engine's temperature during the ready state. Over on this side, you'll find the Vulcan status LED light, which tells you information such as when the Vulcan is powered on, if it's in a preheating state or a warming state, or if there are any errors. Here on the rear of the Vulcan, you can find your quick connect fittings for your coolant outlet and inlet ports, as well as the bulkheads for your fuel inlet and outlet. And here's the bulkhead for the wire harness connection that provides power and CAN bus communication to the Vulcan. On the back, you'll also find the rear access door, which allows better access for times such as maintenance or service on the burner head. Now inside the Vulcan, you will find your coolant hoses. Here's your inlet to the water pump. And then from the water pump, we go to the burner chamber. And then from the burn chamber, we go to the outlet hose right here, and that goes back to the whole system. Now, here's your water pump, here's your burner chamber with your burner head, as well as the fuel filter, which contains a fuel preheater. Now, the fuel filter and the burn head must be serviced every 6 months. Here on the door, you'll find your information sticker. This contains information such as your TN, tracking number, the Vulcan version number, as well as the date of installation and the unit that the Vulcan was originally installed on. Up top here we have the Vesta, which is the control module for the whole Vulcan system. So here we have the EKU electrical box, or sometimes referred to as the Jostner box. On the front, you'll see the powertrain status LED light, which tells you information such as if you are clear to crank the engine over or not, or if we're waiting on ignition. Here we have the starter lockout so that you can disable the starters for any kind of service or maintenance. On the bottom, we have the connections between the EKU escape through the main trailer to the electrical box, and then as well as the connection from the electrical box to their frac trailer HMI control box. On the inside of the electrical box, here we have the Ruth gateway controller, which is the main interface between the frac HMI box and the EKU escape. On the inside, you'll see here that we have a sticker with our support information, where you can reach EKU on this number 24/7. Here we have the CF15 pre-loop pump. This is used to circulate engine oil before every start, as well as circulate oil when the engine is in the ready state to keep the components well lubricated. This is most critical for rapid starting of engines, as it brings the oil pressure up to spec before the engine even cranks over. The pre-loop pump is critical so that engines can perform a rapid start. Some symptoms you may notice of a failed pre-loop pump would be a longer or unusually long crank time. It's important to verify that the pre-loop pump is fully operational, as engine lubrication is critical to ensure longevity of the frac units. Here we have the ready active lights, also known as the RALs, and the ready start siren, or the RSS. The RALs are placed, two are placed on the front of the engine on the frac unit, and one is placed on the power end. The one on the rear will have the RSS installed along with it. These lights indicate when the unit is active. Even if the engine is off, if the lights are blinking, the unit should be considered as active or on. Before the unit is going to perform a automated start for any type of conditioning, the lights will begin to blink more rapidly, and the RSS will sound for approximately 15 seconds. Here we have the various high current cables that are included in the EKU system. These cables provide main power to things such as your starters, your alternators, or any other high draw devices. Here you can see the quick connects on the positive and the negative cables, as well as the Combitech connector that will be used to power things such as your DEF heaters, your HMI control boxes, or any other such accessories. Critically important that these high current cables are well routed and well protected from any kind of vibration or damage. Any rub through can cause serious electrical damage to the EKU system, to the frac trailer, and it is also a fire hazard. Here we have the EKU Escape main trailer wire harness. This wire harness interfaces between the EKU Escape system, all the accessories, and the frac pump trailer unit. It is important that this wire harness is also properly routed and protected to ensure that there are no issues when running the unit. The EKU web app is your diagnostic interface with the entire EKU Escape system. It can be accessed easily with a laptop with an Ethernet connection by plugging in your laptop to the Escape system on this Ethernet port on the side here. Once connected, turn on the Escape and type in any web browser 169.254.1.1, enter. You'll be asked for a password. The password is dependent on who the owner of the frac unit is. Once you have the password, you can enter the web app, and here you can view various diagnostic information, engine data, transmission data, battery status, percentage, voltage, etc. You can also view engine running hours, escape running hours, as well as at the bottom you can see active errors and the error logs. The active errors show you the errors that are currently present. The error log shows you errors that have been shown before but have perhaps gone away since the last power cycle. On the left, you'll see tabs where you can switch between the main panel, the settings, and the IBN test panel. Here is the main panel. In the IBN test panel, you'll have various options to see dependent on whether your starter lockout switch is in the off or on position. When it is in the off position, you'll only be able to see various parameters and live data, such as current transmission gear request, current engine speed request, engine temperature, transmission temperature, as well as engine charging current to see if the battery is receiving a charge from the alternator or not. When the starter lockout is in the off position, you'll be able to perform various bidirectional controls of the EKU system, such as running the Vulcan, priming fuel pumps, or testing the various lights and sirens on the frac unit. For technical support, feel free to reach out to us by phone call or text message at 972-746-4217. Or you can reach out to us by email at support@ekupd.com.